Behind me are two barrows which are on alignment with it. The Dorset Cursus is made up of two sections, and together they extend to 6 miles long, and more or less straight sections. And now I believe they're pointing to various significant points in the landscape. Its width is about 100 yards wide, and it's bounded by a bank and ditch on each side. It got the name Cursus from the antiquarian William Stukely, who first discovered the first Cursus known at this beside Stonehenge. It's now thought there's something like over 50 Cursuses possibly in the country. This is mainly from aerial research, so these haven't actually been excavated, but they do show up on various photographs from the air. There's been some recent research on it, suggesting that there may be some astronomical alignments involved in it. There may be barrows on the skyline, and these may have astronomical significance. In fact, although it's basically a straight corridor, it's actually constructed of various straight sections, so there may be some significance in the actual orientation of the various sections. But other than that, it's quite a conundrum, and we don't, nobody really knows what the purposes were for. Archaeologists tend to describe it purely as a ritual enclosure. In fact, the name that Stukely gave it, Cursus, is a Roman name for a Roman racetrack, but it's unlikely they would be used for racing horses. So there you are. That's all we can say about it. It's more visible at certain times of the year, spring and autumn, and there is very little to show for it at the moment, mainly because it's been ploughed out over so many years.
Yes.
So I think that's about all I can say about it at the moment. Okay?
Is it in that direction there?
Yes, it's running right down there. I can show you the map if you like.
The view along the Cursus.
Right,
that's the two there, so you're quite right there. Yeah.
Oh, wasn't that nice? You find out we're right.
Look. Yeah, that's one of the humps we can see. No, there. One of the humps we can see on the back and the...
Yeah, there's a depression in between two little hills where the lines run through. Only we didn't see the lines, we just lined up with the dowsing rod. But Sybil found the lines. So where are we going to next?
We're going straight into Dorchester now.
That's that way, is it?
Rings, yeah.
That's brilliant. So go on then, Rob, tell us what they did on the Cursuses.
Well,
all those years ago.
I don't know what they did. That's one of these things nobody's found out yet.
You thought you'd have got the answer.
I did say a few things to Jimmy a minute ago, but
South side. That's also around here.
We're going to walk around the room. And we can leave our stuff in the van,
yes,
can we?
yeah.
How long are we stopping for?
Not very long.
Oh, right.
Would you like to want to stop here and explore it?
Oh, I see, just...
Then when we're stopping for lunch, we're going along just by the stone circle, but there's a restaurant place just beside it.
What, now or later?
After you're done here, we'll go to the...
Oh, we'll carry on so much between us, would we?
way, so you take you out of your way to go and visit there. But we could come down. We've got to come down anyway. So we've been Dorchester and Maiden Castle. It's a much evolved site, formerly a Neolithic henge. What was particularly interesting about it is that inside the ditch was made up of a series of conical pits, 44 in number. And within these pits have been found various objects, particularly phallic objects, and various devotive kind. And they're known to have actually been richly refilled, in fact, a bit like the Maumbury Circle at Stonehenge. That is also a series of pits, 56 in that case. Later on, when the Romans came to Dorchester, Durno Barrier they called it, they used it as an amphitheatre. And what they did was they lowered the floor about 12 feet, and round the inside of it they put a series of terraces revetted with wood to make seats. And away from the far entrance they built a rectangular stone structure. There's still remnants of it which was discovered in excavation, and these apparently was used to house animals that might have been used for various baiting and fun things that Romans tended to like doing. Up until the 18th century there was a monolith standing in the original entrance, which is over there, which is the northeast entrance, and as you were saying, it could possibly be a midsummer sunrise point. So that's an interesting alignment through the site, lining up to midsummer.
Yes.
Since then it's also been used by the military a couple of times. In the Civil War in 1643, Cromwell's lot used it as a gun emplacement, and later in 1940 it was once again used as a gun emplacement, which was never really had much use as such, I think, and no invasion anyway. So I think that more or less brings you up to date. So it's a much evolved site, and I think, as I say, it's a very large earth sculpture now, and just come enjoy it on that level, I think.
Yes, we seem to find two main lines of energy going through it. One of them seems to go through that northeast entrance that you were talking
That's
about.
interesting, yeah.
And the other one was more or less at right angles to it. And Eileen found several other weaker ones that I didn't find, sort of going at different angles to it, but they all seem to meet in the middle.
So it could actually be an energy centre of one kind. That's why it was sited there in the Neolithic times. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
But also, if you think about it being used as a Roman amphitheatre, there's a lot of other things you might pick up. A lot of anguish and heartache and death and destruction happened here.
Yes.
There were dramas put on, but the Romans were mainly into killing or doing something nasty to somebody.
Yes, yes.
So,
Right, thank you.
Have you got the line?
Yes.
No, is it?
Yeah.
That's it.
The Wishing Well at Upwey is a natural spring and source of the River Wey. The river rises at the foot of the chalk ridge of the South Dorset Downs, which rise above Upwey to the north and flows through the village. It's a natural spring believed to have healing powers, particularly for sore eyes, and is a place where visitors traditionally make wishes by taking sips of water and throwing the rest over their left shoulders while wishing.
Oh, that's right. Then I have the green peas. Yes, that's fine. Yes, thank you, Ed. That will actually be
rising up.
What is it?
The well water.
Oh.
It's welling.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was some life or something.
Well, it might be. It might be like a lantern worm, and it will emerge.
Oh, I've heard of that lantern worm.
Yes, because this metally bit doesn't go down that far, so it must be all seeping out underneath that.
Is it bubbling up anywhere else, Peter, or just in that corner?
Oh, right, to the countryside I am.
It's alive.
I think it's bubbling up over here as well, though, Mother. Why don't you Well, how do you know that that isn't it as well? Just as a little borehole.
Oozing.
But it must be using at quite a rate of knots, because
have a photo. Earth Mysteries examining the world.
News number 17, February 1985. Anomaly at megalithic site. A report of strange electrical anomalies at a stone circle in Dorset is to be investigated by ASAP members in the west. A Ford Transit was being towed by another van past the Winterbourne Abbas site in January when the electrical systems of both apparently failed simultaneously. They were travelling at 45 miles per hour. A similar occurrence is reported to have happened 10 years ago when 6 cars were brought to a halt one night in a lane near the circle. The importance of cases like this in anomaly research is that they can be tested with such equipment as multimeters and magnetometers. The very successful Dragon project has already obtained measurements conclusively demonstrating that so far unexplained shifts of electromagnetism can occur at megalithic sites. Such findings have been independently reproduced by other researchers, including physicists from Imperial College and King's College, London. The cause, cycles and periodicity of such electrical phenomena at ancient sites is not yet understood, so more research is needed. running along the axis of the Romano-British Temple, and in this direction it goes through that gap in the wall of the site.
Rob.
There's possibly another clump of trees just beyond it.
It's saying bat.
The line seems to go through this clump.
This is the E line at Cerne, Abbas. If you follow me down, you can see the figure of the giant long man on the hillside. Now walk. As far as we can tell. Oh, right. Right, well, I think this is more or less the centre of the E line, which we've traced in the east as far as Laysdown, and this is the furthest point west.
The E line that the Surrey Earth Mysteries group have been following across Surrey and Kent goes through the chalk figure of the giant near Cerne Abbas when extended westwards. We found the line as wide and powerful as usual, much wider than this line superimposed on the aerial photograph plotted by Eileen, which represents its centre. Note, however, that it runs along a field boundary and skirts the Trendle earthwork. The real line would take in the whole of the Trendle. The other line is one found by Paul Devereux, illustrated in the Lay Hunter's Companion and the Lay Guide. Tell me when you go off it. You still on it?
Yeah.
Still on it?
Beer garden at the rear. Found the giant with his club.
Why is that just so narrated?
Well, next time it's here then. Very strong here.
The well has had a triple reputation of being an oracular, a healing and a wishing well. If anyone looks into St Augustine's well first thing on Easter morning, he will see the faces of those who will die within the year. The waters were prescribed for sore eyes and for general ill health. The waters were considered especially good for women, and it was also thought wholesome to dip newborn babies in the water at the moment the sun's rays touched the surface of the water. Local belief had it that the women drinking at the well would become pregnant. Girls could also drink at the well, and putting the hand on the wishing stone, probably the upright one with a St Catherine's wheel carved into it, and pray to St Catherine for a husband. A person could also make a cup of laurel leaves and, filling it with water, face south and wish any wish they wanted. This site is the only holy well in Dorset to have had a shrine, and the lime trees surrounding it were known as the 12 Apostles. The waters were used as a daily drinking water by the houses in Abbey Street up until 40 years ago.
Where's Debbie now?
Well, she won't be long. She's just literally gone.
That's falling into the curtain of the Abbey.